Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. In London, Finance Minister Zdravko Marić successfully secured a €1.275 billion benchmark bond issue that will mature in January 2030. The minister also managed to negotiate a record low interest rate for Croatia at 2.75%. The money will be used to refinance €1.3 billion of debt accumulated by the government when modernizing the country's highways.
For the first time, we have issued bonds that will be due in January 2030, in other words, the longest possible maturation period. Attaining an interest rate of 2.75% is a major success. In this way, we will be able to pay off a chunk of debts worth €1.3 billion that are due now and have the most unfavorable interest rate. This restructuring will directly result in savings of more than €21 million per year.
Prior to the news from London, Prime Minister Andrej Plenković underlined the importance of a stable government when securing loans.
When we speak with investors, the first thing they ask is, how is the situation in the country? Is it stable? And is the government acting responsibly?
Parliament's Investigative Commission for Agricor heard testimony from former Finance Minister Borislav Škegro. He maintains that Croatia's first president, Franjo Tuđman, was focused only on matters of defense and internal politics and was not involved in privatization deals. Škegro added that he at one time butted heads with Tuđman over a request from Agricor owner Ivica Todorić to purchase a controlling stake in the Podravka food company.
What I'm saying is that the president had absolutely no hand in economic matters whatsoever, never mind privatization. There is no truth to the stories of the president having an inner circle of some 200 families or what have you. I am asking you, Mr. President, to go over the transcripts from these talks. I cannot remember the exact date, but I believe it was sometime in 1997. This is public information that you can Google and find out about.
Former National Bank governor and longtime Agricor employee Željko Rohatinski also testified before the commission. Rohatinski stated that Tomislav Karamarko and current health minister Milan Kujundžić were in Ivica Todorić's inner circle and had in 2012 tried to persuade him to run for prime minister. Allegations Minister Kujundžić vehemently denied. Commission President Orsat Miljanić noted that Agricor's employment of politicians and vice versa was proof that Todorić held significant influence on Croatian politics.
This was common practice in the company. We are not here to only ask questions regarding legal matters. We touch upon matters of ethics and how things look from the outside. If you continue to employ a large number of former politicians who then return to work in politics, it sends a clear message to their successors that Agricor is untouchable. This is the perception that people have, and they should have done a better job of keeping that in mind.
The Zagreb County Court has ordered 4 suspects in the most recent corruption case to be remanded in investigative custody. Commercial Court Judge Vesna Malenica, bankruptcy manager Pero Hrkač, and 2 of his colleagues were arrested on Tuesday on suspicion of crimes committed over the past decade that netted them personal profits of over €3.5 million. One suspect was released, while another, businessman Milan Lucic, is currently out of the country and will be brought before a judge when he returns. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković and Education Minister Blaženka Divjak presented a project aimed at modernizing next year's 5th and 6th grade classrooms. The minister said the move will allow for the introduction of mandatory computer education classes. The government has forwarded a tax measure to Parliament that will affect used car buyers. Changes to the motor vehicles tax would swap the tax on used cars for an administrative fee that car buyers would pay when registering their newly acquired vehicles.
These amendments to the law on motor vehicles is a continuation of our tax reforms, the aim of which is to simplify administrative procedures for both taxpayers and the state alike. They are also designed to increase overall transparency, payment calculations, and the payment system as a whole. These amendments will further simplify the changing over of ownership papers, as well as lowering the tax burden.
Exactly 5 years ago today, the appeals chamber of the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia in The Hague ordered the immediate release of Croatian generals Ante Gotovina and Mladen Markac, overriding an earlier conviction for crimes against humanity and violations of the customs of war. More than 100,000 people packed Zagreb's main square to await the arrival of Croatia's heroes from the homeland war.
5 years ago, we won the legal battle. Without that victory, we would not have been able to close this chapter of our history. The homeland war is a fundamental part of the Croatian independence, and today it continues to be a symbol of protecting our national security and our freedom.
Taking a quick look at sports in tennis, Croatia's Marin Cilic has bowed out of the ATP World Tour Finals in London after suffering his third straight loss. Today's game against Roger Federer held no meaning for either player, but the six-time tournament champion came out on top in 3 sets. Meanwhile, in the 6th round of play in Group A of Eurocup basketball, Croatian league champs Cedevita easily defeated Fiat Torino 87-65 last night. Kevin Murphy led the way with 22 points. So far this season, Cedevita has 3 wins and 3 losses and sit in 3rd place. They play Turkish side Darüşşafaka in the next round. The weather forecast for tomorrow calls for mostly cloudy skies and light showers. Higher elevations could see snow. The Adriatic coast will be partly sunny and mostly dry. Winds in the interior mostly weak, while the Adriatic will get a moderate to strong northeasterly. Areas around the Velebit Channel can expect gale-force winds in the first half of the day. The open seas and the southern coast will get a northwesterly. Morning lows of between -1 and 5 inland and between 7 and 13 on the coast will give way to highs of 3 to 8 inland and 12 to 17 degrees Celsius on the coast. Continental regions will continue to be cloudy on Saturday as well, with light rain in low-lying areas and snow in the mountains. Sunday looks to be changeable with a chance of precipitation. Morning fog and frost warnings are in effect for Sunday morning. Mostly sunny skies will return on Monday. The coast will be mostly sunny and dry tomorrow and on Saturday. Clouds will move in on Sunday, bringing isolated showers towards the end of the day. Monday will also be sunny on the coast. A moderate to strong northeasterly wind and northwesterly is expected, while the central and southern coast will get a northerly. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.